Om Shanti, or greetings of peace, and welcome as we celebrate International Day of Peace 2021 on the theme Recovering Better for an Equitable and Sustaining World. The Brahma Kumaris, with its spiritual headquarters in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, India, comprises a worldwide network of centers in more than 125 countries and is an international non-governmental organization of the United Nations accredited with general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. The Brahma Kumaris also has associate status with the Department of Public Information, consultative status with the United Nations Children's Fund, and observer status to the United Nations Environment Assembly. In 1986, the United Nations International Year of Peace, the Brahma Kumaris launched the Million Minutes of Peace Appeal, which reached 88 countries involved in millions of people, emphasizing that peace begins inside each individual. The project collected contributions of over 1 billion minutes of peace in the form of prayers, meditation, and positive thoughts. As a result of this appeal, the Brahma Kumaris received 7 Peace Messenger Awards. Apart from all the projects done by the Brahma Kumaris, the Brahma Kumaris is dedicated to helping people bring into their daily lives their most positive energy and deep personal values. The vehicle for exploring these inner resources is through the process of meditation. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us the Chief Governor of Youth Government of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Brian Benoit. Mr. Benoit holds a master's in business administration. He has a strong passion to see young people reach their fullest potential. He lives by the simple quote, "It's too risky not to take risk." Mr. Benoit will now bring greetings on behalf of the Youth Government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Hi, I'm Brian Benoit, Chief Governor of Youth Government TT, and I am honored today to be invited by the Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga Center on this day, bringing you greetings as we celebrate the International Day of Peace. Each year, the International Day of Peace is observed around the world on the 21st of September. The 2021 theme is Recovering Better for an Equitable and Sustainable World. With the devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has become a trying time for all of us, fighting off this invisible enemy. However, we must remember that we are not each other's enemy. True peace hangs on humanity's being inclusive, healthy, and economically stable. Peace requires us to work together to fight climate change, unsolicited violence, and create an unpolluted environment in our communities. In this time of physical distancing, we are not able to meet each other the way we have done before. However, there are many things we can still do to promote the principles of the International Day of Peace. We have all heard about world peace, and some of us as young people have taken the necessary steps to bring about peace, to feel safe and accepted in our communities. There's no one definition for peace because it's something that's different for all of us. Peace for me is putting an end to violence against women, living in a world that accepts every creed and race as equals. You are never too young to be a peacekeeper. In fact, this is the youngest generation the world has ever seen, and it is our duty to secure our future. So get involved as a youth peacekeeper by engaging in activities that foster peace in your community, country, and by extension, the world by joining a youth or community organization whose goal is to advocate for and foster peace. Do acts of kindness by giving to the less fortunate, something as simple as giving someone a hug, a smile. Find solutions to reduce waste and save on energy by switching off lights and devices. These simple and small acts will help the world. Donate to a peace treaty or charity, or even run your own fundraising events. You can also get involved by writing a list of peacekeeping ideas and submit it to your members of parliament. Take to social media and talk about what peace means to you and how you plan to take action. Maybe even learn about how other young people around the world are taking action on a number of issues to bring about peace, like Malala, the young girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban, but overcame and never gave up her peacekeeping fight to make education accessible and a right for young girls. Take for instance Greta Thunberg, who is a young Swedish environmental activist and peacekeeper, championing her cause to see people in power across the world act with more urgency in tackling climate change and harmful emissions. You have it within you to create the peace you want to see in this world. And remember that you are never too young to start now. And on that note, I want to wish you a happy International Day of Peace.
It's time for a musical piece by guitarist Richard Gosine, The Song of Peace. Richard is a graduate of the National Academy for the Performing Arts. Richard has a bachelor's in fine arts in the Western classical guitar. He is the Guitar Wars winner of 2010 competition. He is also a music teacher and producer, and a student of the Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga Center, Sugarnas. Now let's listen to Richard on the guitar. Every year, the Secretary General of the United Nations gives a special message on International Day of Peace. Now let's listen to this message from the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres.
This year's International Day of Peace comes at a crisis point for humanity. COVID-19 has turned our world upside down. Conflicts are spinning out of control, the climate emergency is worsening, inequality and poverty are deepening, and mistrust and division are driving people apart at a time when solidarity and collaboration are needed more than ever. As a human family, we face a stark choice: peace or perpetual peril. We must choose peace. That is why I call for a 24-hour ceasefire today. And by working in solidarity for a lasting, sustainable peace every day, we can tackle the issues facing us. We need peace to urgently deliver life-saving vaccines and treatment for COVID-19. We need peace to recover from the pandemic and rebuild shattered systems and shattered lives. We need peace to level the playing field and reduce inequalities. We need peace to renew trust in one another and faith in facts and science. And we need to make peace with nature, to heal our planet, build a green economy, and achieve our net zero targets. Peace is not a naive dream. It is a light in the darkness, guiding us to the only pathway to a better future for humanity. Let's walk the pathway of peace as if our lives depended on it, because they do. Thank you.
Sister Jasmine Bisnath is the president of the Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga Center of Trinidad and Tobago. Sister Jasmine is also the coordinator of the Raja Yoga Center in Chaguanas. She is a student and teacher of meditation for the past 42 years. Sister Jasmine is also a retired educator. She has traveled extensively, internationally, and participated in many international projects. Sister Jasmine coordinates and facilitates many local public forums. We now welcome Sister Jasmine to give the feature address.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Sister Gail, for that kind introduction. Before we begin, I invite you to have a moment of peace, experiencing the self to be peaceful, connecting with God, the supreme source of peace, and spreading vibrations of peace to the world. Thank you. It's indeed a pleasure to be with you today as we celebrate International Day of Peace. September 21st is commemorated as International Day of Peace world over. The United Nations describe this day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire within and amongst all nations and peoples of the world. In these most unprecedented times, together with waging wars and violence, devastating economic and social challenges, climate changes, together with the COVID-19 global pandemic, all have monopolized our entire planet. The International Day of Peace is an inspiring reminder what we can do individually and collectively to create peace within the self, the family unit, the community, the nation, and the world at large. I'm particularly happy to have with us today some vibrant youths on this virtual program. They're all partnering with us for this cause of peace. In reference to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, for International Youth Day 2021, in his message, he emphasized that young people are in the front line in the struggle to build a better future for all. The global pandemic has highlighted the urgent need for this kind of transformational change when they, as the youths, seek to meet the needs of the present time without, of course, compromising the ability of the future generation. But young people cannot do it on their own. They need allies to make sure that they are engaged, included, and understood. So often, young people are misunderstood. The United Nations General Secretary further urged people to ensure that young people have a seat at the table so as to build a world that is inclusive, fair, and sustainable for all. He also urged that young people of today must be full partners in the efforts for peace. So, our young people, please take heed. You can make a peaceful world. Having experienced the impact of the global pandemic, there is definitely need to take time to internalize and reflect to see how is the recovering process. Let's track back on our own life's journey for a moment and ask the self, how did I really cope with all the challenges and demands for changes in my daily lifestyle due to the pandemic? Also ask the self, was there a level playing field to remove the conflicts and injustice and unfairness of all spheres of life? And how sustaining is this to meet the needs of the present time as well as the future? One would realize in the process of recovering better for a more equitable and sustainable world, there was the healthcare guidance, of course, for physical health and well-being. Besides health, this International Day of Peace is also being utilized to turn attention towards our natural environment and climate change. Peace is also needed to preserve nature and our environment. Whilst the recovering process involves a huge amount of suffering world over, together with an enormous amount of fear and worry in the minds of many, which of course affected their mental health. But it is also important to note that there are a tremendous number of positive changes pouring into social media from many people who are expressing that it is time for reflection, time to change the way of thinking, being, and doing, time to value the bond in family life, and time to also value the treasure of time itself. The question is, what can we do to anchor some of these new positive changes that have come about to recovering better and remain above the threshold of fear, worry, and hopelessness? People have opened up a spring of compassion from within human hearts, giving their energy, their skills, and expertise to serve others. I must say, much gratitude and appreciation to the frontline workers in healthcare for going beyond the call of time. Some of them have even risked their lives so much. It is important more than ever today to promote peace with open-mindedness. Peace is needed to recover from any of life's challenges. Peace is needed to manage inequality and injustice. We must therefore see this kind of drive and creativity and commitment in many areas, from gender inequality to races, to territories, to education, skill development, based on more inclusiveness and sustainable development for all. The peace process does require an enduring commitment. We can do all much more to build more resilient and peaceful societies. We all got to make peace possible. But how? By being peaceful ourselves. Whilst we all made our best endeavors to observe the physical laws and current regulations for physical protection of our body and health during the time of the pandemic, which is ongoing still, the question is, are we also observing the spiritual laws, the spiritual principles which are there to protect us and make us safe and secure from within? Meditation is a very powerful spiritual tool for this, that we all need in our toolkit of life. If we were to equip ourselves to face the many challenges of modern day living and to enjoy a better quality life. This means taking time out to go on the spiritual pilgrimage of silence inside ourselves, the true self, and spend time with the self and make the mind the best friend. Staying in meaningful silence, we can build that inner reserve with silent time and accumulate such power within that we rediscover our true self as a spiritual divine point of light, which we have to be aware is located in the center of the forehead. It's called the third eye, the eye of wisdom. In this awareness, I can now be in touch with my true authentic self as a very peaceful being, filled with the virtues of love, happiness, and contentment. Through the process of meditation, one can stabilize in this kind of consciousness and connect with the supreme source of energy, our supreme parent of all souls, who is the most powerful source of energy in the universe. That supreme divine point of light, who is unlimited in virtues, powers, and blessings. We all have a personal relationship with our supreme parent God. And meditation and yoga are the methods for reconnecting and cultivating that relationship. The key, though, is communication with the supreme source, our supreme parent. This can be in thoughts, in silence, or even writing a letter which sends the vibrations of an open and honest heart to the one who awaits to enter our hearts. In this process, we can discover the spirituality and peace it takes to be able to experience a much better way of life, a way that is much more sustaining. Let us take a moment to be on the pilgrimage of silence. Listen to the rhythm of silence within our own selves. And be at peace with yourself. And be in sweet remembrance of God, the ocean of peace. And spread vibrations of peace to our world family, as well as Mother Nature. May peace be to all. I thank you.
Up for a bit of entertainment. Piece in the Form of Music on the Steel Pan by Levi Marshall. Levi is 21 years of age and he resides in Belmont. He holds a bachelor's degree in Information Systems Management from UWI Roy Tech. He completed the grade 8 in music theory from the Associated Board of Royal Schools Music and holds a grade 8 practical in solo tenor steel pan from UWI. He is also a member of the St. Francis Spiritual Baptist Church in Pitti Valley. So let's listen to Levi on the pan. We are honored to have with us Sister Himlata. Sister Himlata is the sub-regional coordinator of the Raja Yoga Centers in the Caribbean. She's the spiritual head and the national coordinator of the centers in Trinidad and Tobago. She is also the coordinator of the Raja Yoga Center at San Fernando. Sister Himlata has been practicing meditation for over 50 years. Her dedication and commitment to the service of humanity has led her to be a tower of peace. We will now have Sister Himlata guide us in the experience of meditation through a meditation commentary.
Om Shanti, greeting of peace to all of you on the occasion of the International Day of the Peace designated by the United Nations. Let us concentrate on our own self, our inner self, and let us connect our inner self through the meditation, and let us observe our thoughts and our feelings. Our inner self is a soul, the spirit, which is controlling this physical body. So the original quality of this soul, the spirit, is peace and power. So let us concentrate and connect ourselves with those feelings of peace and power within. Let us observe our thought and feeling once again in the scene of peace, as if I am experiencing peace from within. As I experience peace within, I feel very peaceful, and I start spreading the vibration of peace everywhere, especially in this season of pandemic, which we want soon to disappear. Let us connect our inner self, and through the inner self, the spirit, the soul, we connect our Supreme, who is a source of peace, power, and happiness. We start visualizing the rays of peace, power, and joy are coming towards me. It is coming towards all of us who are observing this day. And we are continue to absorb this energy. And we feel that this energy of spirituality is surrounding me, creating the aura of the spiritual energy. I feel very protected, guided, and fearless. I feel very blessed. Let everyone become the instrument of God's energy of peace, and allow this energy of peace to spread everywhere on this earth, to the human, animals, plants, and the five elements of the nature. Let whole world become very peaceful, very loveful, and powerful. So we feel protected and guided and free from the feeling of uncertainty. God bless everyone, and we will have the good wishes for each other of peace and love. Thank you very much.
And now it's time to express our appreciation and gratitude to all those who participated in making this virtual program possible. To God, our Supreme Parent, for his blessings and guidance. To the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, for his meaningful message. To Sister Hemlata for such a powerful experience of peace. To Sister Jasmine, thank you for that enlightening and empowering address. To our youths, Brian Benoit, the Chief Youth Governor of TNT, for your love-filled greetings. To guitarist Richard Gosain, another youth, our gratitude to you for giving us such joy with the song of peace on the guitar. And another youth, panist Levi Marshall, sincere thank you for that wonderful rendition of Om Shanti song on the steel pan. To Sister Gail, we appreciate you taking us through the virtual window. Om Shanti, may peace be to you all. Thank you.